Our little Boo and savior has risen, and he is back.
It's too scary.
I'm digging this hoodie. This hoodie looks amazing. So this is gonna be the hoodie. Okay, guys, we are back at Universal Studios. I didn't think I was gonna be here today. This morning, I filmed this clip at 4 in the morning.
I'm guessing Universal any day now is just gonna probably watch this video, and Universal has probably already announced all the houses.
Yeah, a couple hours later, Universal announced everything. They announced all the Halloween Horror Nights house, all the streets, all the shows. So we're gonna go through Universal. We're gonna go through the description of each one of the houses, where they're gonna be, my thoughts about everything. Now over here at the Theater in City Walk, they have a special movie that's gonna be coming out here soon. Starting September 2nd in IMAX and Real D 3D. God, experience the original summer blockbuster. Now I have the 4K Blu-ray version and it is immaculate. They went in and restored everything. So I'm excited to watch this in theaters now and hear like the surround sound in IMAX. September 2nd. And I know we gotta stop in the City Walk Universal Studios store. Now they do have a new Jurassic Park bucket hat for you, Peter. It's reversible. So underneath it says Dinosaur Observation Committee, right? And then underneath there's like the Raptor Chasers, the T-Rex Encounter. $27. We love our Fast and the Furious merchandise with how bad it is. And yes, this is Fast and the Furious merchandise. Who in their right mind would ever wear this? You can't even read Fast and the Furious with that graffiti. I do like the new Jurassic World hat. This matches perfectly with the tank tops they were selling with the same design. $26 for this hat. This is a new little plush. For $20, they have a little Lorax plush. This thing is adorable. Now, they put up a bunch of more pumpkins. Honestly, the whole reason we're here right now is honestly, I just want to see Little Boo again. Our little Boo and savior has risen, and he is back. He's here.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo.
Alright, so they added a bunch of more pumpkins, but in the center is Little Boo. Now, I'm guessing they're gonna put a bunch of camouflage and pumpkin vines to kind of make them blend in a little better, because right now there's pumpkins kind of just chilling on metal beams. So first off, this street with all the pumpkins right next to, you know, where Shrek 4D was, it's gonna be called Horrors of Halloween. The Pumpkin Lord, the spirit of Halloween, has taken this year's event, summoning hordes of fiendish creatures. Terror has taken root. So I'm guessing a lot of the same like spooky creatures from Wicked Growth from last year will kind of be in this scare zone. So I'm really excited that the Pumpkin Lord is going to be the icon of this year. I didn't think they'd be putting Little Boo actually back up out there. I think he should be in a protective case in the archives. Maybe that's a replica of the original one, but like put it in a protective case next to the Declaration of Independence, kind of over here by Rip Ride. The house is going to be called Spirits of the Coven. They're bewitching, terrifying. A coven of beautiful flapper witches will lure you into their 1920s speakeasy, reveal their haggish true form, and turn your scream squad into a witch's brew. They'll be cackling, you'll be screaming. I'm excited for that one. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's like a good fun house. And then the other one, this was originally supposed to be Evil Dead, but then in July they kind of like lost the rights and they had to do kind of a quick flip on it. So it's gonna be called Hell Block Horror. All these monsters escape their prison. There's no escape for you. Enter a prison whose savage inmates are monstrous creatures. If they'll break free from their cells, it's a death sentence for everyone. So I'm guessing kind of like, I don't know, like a prison's just supposed to be held like the biggest and baddest monsters, and they're all gonna be breaking free. Hopefully the costume design is pretty good. That one, we'll see how it is. Now they've set up this cover. Nothing will fall on you from Rip Ride Rocket. That's why that's there. So then over here by Jimmy Fallon, it's gonna be Halloween, right? They're kind of reusing Halloween. It's not even the new Blumhouse version of Halloween. It's the OG Halloween they've done a million times. We've seen it done. The one in Hollywood was actually decent last year. I think that was like, what, Halloween 4? The description for this one is Halloween. His beginning is your end. Silent, merciless, relentless. There's nobody like Michael Myers. And if your Scream Squad is ready this year, you can gather together and face the terror of Halloween from the very beginning. I think this is my least hyped house here, is the Halloween one. Okay, now we have a description of what's gonna be happening in the tribute store this year. This year's tribute store will take you through a pumpkin patch, cemetery, and witch's cottage, eventually making their way to the final room, an elaborate Halloween festival set in the same town as the Sweets neighborhood scare zone, Sweets Revenge, right outside. So everything is gonna be kind of interconnected with the Pumpkin Lord, right? So you have the Pumpkin Lord, he has raised up all these terrible creatures, which will be all the things happening in all the scare zones, and the tribute store will be connected with the Pumpkin Lord and the scare zone. So I kind of like that. It's kind of like one cohesive story that's happening. So then over here, there's gonna be two different houses that are gonna be both be original. They normally put the IPs over here, but they're all gonna be original. So the one that I'm really excited about is Fiesta de Chupacabras is gonna be the name of the house. Listen to your abuela and beware the Chupacabra. Visit a Latin American village where the legends of the creature Chupacabra is celebrated with a colorful fiesta, and the streets are lined with the crimson blood of tourists like you and your
amigos. I'm excited for this one. Sounds like this is gonna be kind of a fun house, right? Scary, but also kind of like bright and vibrant, maybe like a kind of a party atmosphere. Then next to it is gonna be Dead Man's Pier. It's gonna be You're Dead in the Water. In a New England fishing village, undead fishermen emerge from the waves to seek their revenge. You and your Scream Squad may have escaped their hooks in the scare zone. Now they'll reel you in and drag you under. Now this is kind of based on a scare zone a couple years ago. It was Dead Man's Wharf. It was great. I loved it. All these fishermen had like barnacles and they're like fish people, and it was really spooky and scary. Okay, now we officially have a name for Major Sweets. It's gonna be called Sweet Revenge. This scare zone is gonna be called Sweet Revenge for Major Sweets Candy Company have turned children into crazed killers this Halloween. All trick, no treat, and total mayhem. So I'm guessing there's gonna be kind of tormented, creepy children running around. There'll probably be victims and everything happening. I don't think it's gonna be a nice, fun little fall festival. I think it's gonna be very terrifying.
So they've added some stuff over here. They've added lollipops, Major Sweets Candy Company. And you know, we got Little Boo right there. So I wonder if the tribute store, they'll be selling his candy at all. So I'm guessing the kids eat this candy, then they go crazy. Miss Treats, Butter Disc, Gooey Chews. Now at the end of the last tribute store, they kind of had these newspapers that pop up every week. But there's one cool one I have not seen yet. You're invited to this monstrous party. Grand opening coming soon. A transformation many are dying to see. This is the Red Coconut Club at City Walk. Now here in City Walk, this is going to be the Red Coconut Club. Dancing and cocktails nightly. But it's called the Dead Coconut Club. I wonder if they'll be renovating it maybe for like a spooky Halloween overlay maybe. That's what I'm hoping for. But the Dead Coconut Club. It could just be kind of a nice little nod to City Walk, but it would be awesome to have a nice overlay. Overnight, they've put up some new food stands. Now they've added all these pictures. From far away, these look like blueberries. But if you look closely, they're skulls. And then this one just kind of has a casket on it, with a cross on the casket. We'll probably get some more displays and theming up here. And this one is, I guess, zombie themed. That just doesn't look very good. Warning, biohazard, infected specimen. If container is breached, contact the local health authority. I don't know how I feel about these like pictures that they chose for all like these little doors. All right, so it looks like they're gonna have one food booth here and then two more over here, so there'll be 3 in this area. There's no team member previews today. It's gonna be, I think, a couple weeks till it opens to the public.
Now they announced, I think it's a little over $50. They have scare actor dining, so you kind of eat here at Louis beforehand. It's kind of a buffet, but honestly, who wants to eat at Louis? If they have specialty food for the Halloween Horror Nights buffet, maybe I might do it, but if it's just the Louis pizza, probably not gonna do it this year. Now, since they're building the new Minions attraction, the second theater was at Shrek 4D used for a house, but since it's under construction, they built a temporary house over here at Fast and the Furious. Honestly, I think the ride is scary enough. It's gonna be the horrors of Blumhouse, twice the screams, twice the terror. Get ready for a blood-curdling new double feature of Blumhouse horror as your Scream Squad faces a ruthless serial killer and freaky and an evil kidnapper in the relentless, terrifying The Black Phone. I'm excited for this house. Normally, I'm not excited for the Blumhouse houses, but I love the movie Freaky and I really enjoyed Black Phone, so I'm excited to see their interpretation of that as a house. Thank God it's not The Purge. Okay, now the scare zone right here in San Francisco is going to be all about witches. So I wonder if it's going to be connected to the Coven house. Maybe. That'd be cool if it was. But so it's called Conjur the Dark. Conjur the Dark on the first All Hallows Eve, an evil sorceress called Fourth Monstrosities. From dark dimensions, now your blood will fuel them. So I'm guessing there'll be kind of sacrifices and everything, and probably a victim having their throat slit and all that stuff. Now, we have our announcements all for Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. There's nothing. It's crickets about Hollywood. Oh God, yeah, that's how I feel right now. I want all the announcements for Hollywood. Let me know if there's gonna be a killer clown's house. At Islands, normally they do kind of like, it's like the Death Eaters and a special projection show in the Hogwarts Castle. They normally do that around the fall time, so I wonder if they'll bring that back. Probably. It's kind of like a different spooky offering that happens over at Island. Over here back at where Fear Factor Live is, we have the official description for the stage show. Nightmare Fuel's coming back. It's gonna be called Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire. The show that sparked the firestorm last year is ablaze with a new nightmare. The pyro and aerial performers are back to reignite your fears. I'm hoping they have some magic, because I really enjoyed the magic that was in the show last year. Now back here where Wicked Growth was and Puppet Theater, you're gonna have bugs eaten alive. This one I think is gonna be just creepy and terrifying, and everybody's afraid of bugs. So it says, these bugs are out to exterminate you. While touring a 1950s home of the future, you'll be surrounded by the slime of bug everywhere as hordes of many-legged tears descend upon you and your Scream Squad. You'll be dropping like flies. I love that description. Really terrified, because I hate cockroaches and spiders and stuff like that. And then the other house where Puppet Theater was last year, it's gonna be called Descendants of Destruction. Deeper, darker, deadlier. Careful not to leave any of your Scream Squad behind as you descend the subway tunnels of a deserted New York, lurking in the dark or hungry mutant looking to feast on the last remnants of humanity. Full on like Last of Us. I'm worried.
Now, there's no description of it. Normally there's a bunch of scare actors with chainsaws. They'll chase you around this entire area. It's terrifying. Allison refuses to walk through the Simpsons area of Springfield during HHN. Now, they put lights on here. They've added some more bloody handprints. There's like little kid handprints, like little toddler handprints up there. So I'm kind of worried. We still don't know what this theme is.
Well, one of my biggest questions is, on the studio screamers, they have Casper the Ghost. Where is Casper the Ghost gonna fit into HHN? There's no rumors about Casper being anywhere. So how is he gonna fit into HHN this year? Now back here, we have The Weeknd. I'm excited for The Weeknd, right? But that's the big IP that they're pushing this year is The Weeknd. So the description for The Weeknd is called The Weeknd After Hours Nightmare. It's music to your fears. You love his music. You can survive his mind. The Weeknd is about to stalk your squad through the haunted house. A real living nightmare from his After Hours videos, his nightmare, now yours. I'm most excited about the Monsters house. I've heard nothing but amazing things of the Scarecrows who walked through it. They said it's so insane and detailed. So it's gonna be called Universal Monsters Legends Collide. It's the Wolfman vs. Dracula vs. the Mummy. If you thought one Universal monster was scary, how about 3? Summon your Scream Squad, because you're about to get caught between the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy together for the first time. Now this is gonna be part 1 of the story. It's gonna kind of take place in Egypt, and then in Universal Hollywood this year, it's gonna be kind of at like a loading dock is kind of what I was hearing, but that's gonna be part 2 of the story that's gonna happen at Universal Hollywood, Halloween Horror Nights.
Now, we're over by ET. I want to talk about something real quick.
Now, on Disney Plus, there's a new show called Light and Magic, about industrial light and magic. It's all about George Lucas, how he found and funded Industrial Light and Magic. It became the greatest special effects company in the entire world, right? Normally on Disney Plus, I don't think their content is good. This is the first time I think I've really given a 10 out of 10 on something on Disney Plus. This show's a masterpiece. It handles the story perfectly, the ups and downs. It doesn't sugarcoat it like how Disney kind of did with the Imagineering story. And the beginning and end of the arc is so good. So if you have some free time, go watch Light and Magic on Disney Plus. Steven Spielberg's in it. They talk about how E.T. and all those special effects were created. James Cameron is in it. There's so many insane, talented creators that are in this docu-series. It's only 6 episodes long. It's all about Star Wars, and they do Terminator, and there's so much Universal in the Light and Magic show. So if you have a chance, go watch on Disney Plus. 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece.
Okay, now when we're walking through here, this scare zone is all gonna be about scarecrows. So we're thinking this might be turned into a giant building that you'll be walking through, because then there's all the lanterns in the sky.
The description for this scare zone is gonna be Scarecrow, cursed soil. At an abandoned farm, scarecrows have risen from the crust of the earth to hunt you and seek revenge. They'll harvest your screams. Will Mike Wazowski and Sully be here to harvest our screams?
By the look, if this is a farm, maybe a barn, they might have an archway and everything, and you'll walk through, and they'll have scare actors in the barn when you're walking through. That's what we're thinking. All right, so then over here, they're gonna have the nighttime Halloween Lagoon show, you know, with the giant waterworks.
Now, this one I think could be very interesting, right? It's called Ghoulish, a Halloween tale. On a Halloween night, a ghost story becomes reality as you go beyond the grave in a spectacular spooky show on Universal Studios Lagoon. I don't know if it's gonna be connected to any IPs or scary movies, or it just could be an all original kind of spooky, scary story with music.
Now, Beetlejuice.
Are you excited for the Halloween season?
No, actually, no.
Why not?
Nah, it's too scary.
What are you most excited about for the Halloween season?
Food. A lot of bugs running around.
By Men in Black, there might be a lot of bugs over there.
Yeah, I'm not big on the foreign stuff, you know.
Now we finally know what's going on here in Nettlewood. So it's gonna be called Graveyard, Deadly Unrest. On All Hallows Eve, a dark storm descends upon a cemetery and awakens long dead spirits. No one living can escape. The Pumpkin Lord was busy on All Hallows Eve, bringing all these creatures alive.
All right, now we do have a merchandise reveal over here at 5 and Dime.
I'm digging this hoodie. This hoodie looks amazing.
So this is gonna be the hoodie. It's kind of like this like spooky tie-dye. Scares at every turn. Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios 2022. On the back, scares at every turn. So you got the Pumpkin Lord right there, raising up all of his ghoulish friends for all the scare zones and everything. You're looking at $65 for this hoodie. I love this design so much. And then for $12, they have a glass. Scares at every turn, kind of the same design. $30, they have a simple black t-shirt. Honestly, this is what you'll really be wearing at HHN, because you really can't wear a hoodie except for a couple days here because it's so freaking hot. But here's a better look at the design. For $18, they just have a poster of the design, the triggers for the scare actors right here. So I added this in Nettlewood. They have some jewelry and roses, some more flowers down there. They also added this giant gate at the front of nettle wood for the cemetery.
All right, well on that note, let's go back to the office. Okay, now guys, we are back at home. This is a look at the hoodie. Do you guys see the back? Pretty cool. I got a large. It feels very nice. It's kind of a softer material. Now, when it comes to these like tie-dye versions of things at Universal, it's like the first batch. So I would go first thing to Universal if you want this like tie-dye version of the hoodie, because probably the rest of the hoodies will just be kind of a standard black hoodie, I'm guessing, for the rest of the season. This hoodie isn't too heavy. It's kind of lightweight, so you will be able to kind of wear it at HHN if it gets a little chilly. Yo, everything has been announced now. It's about time, Universal. Now we just need Hollywood's announcements. I'm really excited about the announcements. I know some people are kind of like underwhelmed because they really enjoy the IP houses where it's like the big properties, the big movies and everything. But I kind of enjoy this like a revamp of HHN where it's not so IP focused. It's kind of like focused on like the original houses and the original stories, and everything is kind of like interconnected with past houses and scare zones of, you know, building up the lore, because we've been kind of like missing that. But I'm like digging the retro Halloween vibe, right? And the Pumpkin Lord is gonna be the icon raising up all the other like evil Halloween creatures, and the Scarecrow scare zone, I guess, is connected with the Scarecrow houses. So it'll be connected with the Universal Hollywood house. It's gonna be happening this year because it's like a whole map of everything being connected, but it's awesome, right? To have all this stuff interwoven together, creating a bigger, grander story that'll happen throughout every single HHN. So far, I'm loving everything, except the food booths. The food booths designs just aren't doing it for me. Again, we'll have to see once they're fully detailed and everything. But guys, let me know down in the comments which house you were most excited about, or which scare zone you were most excited about to experience this year. My top 3 houses that I'm most excited for, I think number 1 is gonna be the Universal Monsters Legends Collide, and then the Chupacabra house, and then the Bugs Eaten Alive. I don't know, I'm just so excited for all these like original houses this year. Now, we've done 6 videos in a week. It's been like an 80-hour work week. I'm gonna have to take a day off to kind of like recharge. So there will be videos coming soon. I just don't know when. I'm just literally like zombie right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Join the family.
I love the family.
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Halloween Horror Nights and Universal. All right, guys, I love you all. Please stay spooky, and I will see you all very soon.
It's too scary.
You guys look like it's like Saturday night and you've had too many drinks at City Walk.